that our governments already have this website. But still, this is not the creative points. The creative point is after this. We see that we already have the official website in the status quo. Therefore, we need to add more creative idea in this website. We have two special features that I'm going to propose as the creative idea. First is barcode scanning feature, ladies and gentlemen. Why barcode scanning feature? Here in the monitor, we already have the code that friends and judges can scan it through the phone. That these, when people come to the museum and then they see the object didn't have a sufficient information, and then they are not enough human research or the tour guide to explain the object, then we can just simply scan this barcode and then it's going to give you information just through your phone, ladies and gentlemen. So this is so easy and going to equip and facilitate the visitor in the museum itself. Second special feature that we are going to propose is augmented reality feature, ladies and gentlemen. Augmented reality feature is really special. Why? Because we are going to bring the situations and the objects in the museum into the virtual world, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, we can access the museum wherever and whenever we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is so convenient and very useful, especially for the visitor from outside Riau or even the international society, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to give us a big opportunity to learn to introduce our authentic culture, especially Riau Malay culture, ladies and gentlemen. And maybe after these explanations about the feature, judges going to ask that what is the possibility, how you are going to implement this. But don't worry that we have already researched and we tested. The possibility is all start with the status quo, ladies and gentlemen. It all starts that this day, gadgets become a primary needs of everyone. And everyone become familiar with internet. And minimal people have their own gadget, means that we see a big opportunity there. Therefore, we can develop this feature into the website, ladies and gentlemen. This we call digitalization. And also, the possibility of augmented reality is already used in the game called Pokemon Go, and barcode scanning are already used by Bepom in app. Therefore, it is possible and realistic. How about the budget? How about the cost? The cost is not really big. It only takes 30,580,000 rupiah, which sourced from the APBN and second from the CSR of the corporations. Therefore, we are going to start, after we propose this proposal, the cultural authorities is very happy and open and welcome to this proposal. Therefore, we see that there is a positive outcome from these collaborations. And how is the framework? First, we are going to create an official team under Riau Cultural Authorities. And here's the structure that we are going to create. We see that there we have supervisors, Riau Province Cultural Authorities, project manager, and 5 teams to build the creative proposal become true, ladies and gentlemen. Also, second step, that we are going to integrate 2 special features into official website along with the database and digitalization. This process takes around 6 months. After that, we are going to socialization and campaign with other collaboration such as like Riau and Pekanbaru influencer to create an awareness and urgency to the society. So they're aware that we need to learn, to introduce, to understand our authentic culture by visiting the museum. And this website are going to facilitate them. or step is that after we are building the website, we are also going to do the feasible trial. And after the website are past this test, we are going to launch the website. This process going to take around 8 to 12 months. After that, we are officially launched the website. And the last step, of course, we are not going to forget to always evaluate and do the treatment to the website every year so we can update the database and we are make sure that every special feature are work well, or maybe in the future we can add another special feature such as like entertaining for maybe music, drama, or pantun, or another else. It's very convenient, it's very easy. And what is our main goal effectively after this all long explanations? Our main goal is simple. We are going to create an attractive sustainability platform to learn, preserve Riau Melayu culture for society, especially young people from outside and international society. Therefore, we are also help supporting and fulfilling the base from the government policy number 19 on 1995 regarding the role of museum to preserve and to keep the historical and cultural knowledge, and also sustainability development goals point 4, ensure the inclusive and equitability quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunity for all. This is not only talking about the common knowledge that teach in the school, but also talking about how you understand well your authentic culture, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, that's all about the creative idea proposal that I brought to you. And this is as the closing. I'm open to the questions and opinion, also discussion with the judges. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much to Cynthia Wiranda. It's time for judge to give the question to the finalists. Start from Dr. Masteria.
Okay, thank you very much, Cynthia.
Yes, sir.
Yes, nice project about the museum. So I like museum. So I like the stories, educations. Okay, I have two questions. First, your specific target about with the tourists or the give education to young generation about historicals or culture for the Riau Melayu?
At first, our main goal is to facilitate the visitor that come to the museum, sir. But with the current status quo, we believe that education to the young generation is also in need to develop the program, sir. So currently, the main goal is both, sir. Thank you.
What do you mean about status quo? I still don't understand what means status quo here.
Okay, status quo means that the reality that based on the current situations, especially in the young generation, where they are more proud with Western and outside foreign culture rather than our authentic Indonesia culture.
So, oh yeah, you believe like that?
Yes.
You believe like that? Because you're young generation and attract with the historical and culture.
Yes, sir. It is just one, like, it's lucky for me that I interest in it. But most of my friends are addicted to Korean drama.
Okay.
And they're addicted to the Netflix. I cannot lie, sir.
Yeah. Okay, nice project. And the second is you use the, because I think your idea you search in the museum in Europe or in America, something like that, in Western, right? Almost the same, because when I go abroad, then look at the museum, yeah, you have the DNA barcoding, and there is an augmented reality feature. But for the augmented reality feature is this high technology, so you have to present the real, like real animations to the people, to the visitor, and that's the high technology. So I don't know how big your museum, because that's really need hard work to make the augmented reality feature and high technology, and it takes time, I think, to do that. So and you have working also with the graphical designer or use 3D, something like that, and that's really difficult. And I looked at the budget. I think it's not the feasible budget if you use the augmented reality features because this high technology and you need to hire the professional people with that. But for me, if for the first time you just looking at with Barcode, yeah, and look the history like something explanation in Barcode about the history museum or about something things in the museum. So that's the first thing that I think you need to do first. Then the augmented reality feature. So yeah, thank you. Good luck, Cynthia, and yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the suggestion.
Okay. Hello, Cynthia.
Hello, madam.
Yes. So congratulations to be in this stage. This is a great achievement. So before we proceed, I have a question for you. So this museum thing is really my thing. I like museum too. And I've been to Museum Sang Nila Utama. Have you been there?
Yes, recently I go back and forward to the museum, and I also visit Sanggla Utama when I was a child.
Okay. And what is the ideal museum according to you? Can you give an example?
Excuse me, madam, what is?
So what is the ideal museum according to you? Do you have any example?
Okay, thank you, madam. Ideal museum, according to my expectation, is at least we have, when we go to museum, we see the object and we also receive in the sufficient information. And when we see the information, we can absorb and understand what is the object about it, madam.
Okay.
That is the ideal museum for me. And also the display of the museum should be very friendly and very attractive.
Okay. So you're proposing using augmented reality. It's like interactive environment. And as mentioned by Pak Mastria before, it's really costly. So I still don't get the idea how this augmented reality will be beneficial for the proposed museum. Can you explain about that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, madam. Why we are proposing augmented reality? Because our concern is to the society who cannot visit Riau physically, especially the people from the outside Riau that wanting to learn about Riau Malay culture. That is why we are inspired to add this augmented reality. And how this is going to be effective? Because these are going to facilitate the other society to also learn without have to visit the museum physically. And in the future time, we hope that they can attract it and have time to visit it physically. And this also support the teacher, especially in teaching their students about the culture. So these websites are going to equip the teacher itself. Therefore, it's really useful. And for the possibility also can be considerations that augmented reality in our research have already in internet. We have the free trials to do the augmented without so many budget. There is a lot of websites that are facilitate us with the augmented reality. Therefore, why the budget in the proposal is not cost very high, but in the future time, as Mr. Masteria said, that maybe we need a lot more cost
Time
to
is up.
make it more great. Thank you.
Okay, Cynthia, how are you?
Fine,
All
ma'am.
right. Well, as a youngsters, that's a good point from you to increase the awareness of young people to love the treasure and the increase the awareness and love to Malay cultures. Okay, one question from me for you. What are the other potentiality, in order to increase the awareness and the collection of Malay cultures. What I mean here, particularly in the aspect of artifacts, right? If we are talking about museums, so we can call the collection here is part of artifacts, which could be from wood, could be from metal, gold, and so on. Okay, so you understand my question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please reply.
Thank you for the question. I hope I've answered it correctly. The other possibility that we can do to add another collection to our museum is through the auction, ma'am. So after I discussed with the cultural authorities here of province, they said that actually we need more of object evidence from our culture and historical. And how to obtain it is from the auction coming from this site. For example, like the family of the kingdom in Siak, or maybe in Rokan Hulu, Rokan Hilir, and other research that can be auctioned, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, hello, Cynthia.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this first is your idea, first barcode near the object, and second the augmented reality, and then you will make promote all of them in a website. Is it right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like the barcode one, is it audio visual or audio visual?
Thank you, ma'am. If or actually three, ma'am. First is audio, second is picture, and third is in paragraph or text. So we are also concerned to the society who are disability, who cannot hear and who cannot talk. So we are provide three information in the website.
Right. So from the barcode, and in the website also you will put the barcode there, or not, or just in near the object.
Just near the object, ma'am.
So not in the website.
Because in the website we have the augmented reality feature, where this augmented reality feature can also refer us to the information in the website.
I see. Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Hello, Cynthia.
Hello, sir.
How are you today?
Quiet, quiet, and quite nervous.
Quite nervous. Why you have to be nervous? You don't have to. We are good people in here, and we are kindly people, so you don't worry about it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Cynthia. Just talking about your programs, I did it already. I did a team to build a barcode in AR, augmented reality, and I got some project to do that in West Sumatra and Jakarta, and one in zoo, and the others are mostly about to the bank. So it's not really quite new for me because I know how to do it and I know how much the cost is. And it's true. The main problem, when I saw your paper and I saw your budget, it's really, really almost impossible. Otherwise, you're already social movement if you do that. Because in one project, I get it really costly. Especially if you want to try to build an augmented reality, it's really cost. You know, we're talking about animation, we're talking about graphic. That is really costly. And how you manage the cost? In here, you just need around, hang on a sec, so 10, 15, it's about 30 million, right?
Yes, sir.
30 million for one museum? Are you sure about it? Are you sure about the money? Is 30 million is enough?
Okay, sir. Thank you. At first, we proposed the bigger number, which is around 100 million to 300 of millions rupiah. But after in the process, my friends one of the team of Sahabat Sabita found that in internet, we see there is a website that provided the augmented reality facilities for free, sir. So
Okay.
for the process itself, because we are also still in the process searching for research funding to the CSR and also communication with the
I see.
government. Therefore, we are going to do that in the free facilitation from the website itself. Therefore, in the proposal, the number is a lot of decrease, but in the future, as the suggestion of the Masteria and Madam, we are going to also revise the number itself so it can be fulfilled the project.
You should recalculate the numbers because it's really I'd say it's almost impossible. It's possible if you're doing for free for social, right? But for business, no good. Really no good. I tried already 4 years already. My company running this way. And really hard to convince people to do that. Convince the company to try to augment reality as one of the best selling of them. Thank you, Cynthia. Good luck for your job.
Thank you, sir, for the suggestion.
Well, this is my turn. Cynthia, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am, and nervous.
Don't be
fine, ma'am.
nervous. Your smile is okay, so it means that no nervous. Cynthia, I would like to know, when was last visiting that you go to the museum?
The last visiting for holiday or for research, ma'am?
Any time.
Okay. Last time I visit museum, especially Sangla Utama, is at the end of the March for the research.
Can you see? This is related to the tourism, right?
Yes.
I like to talk about the tourism. Can you see the building? And you see
Yes.
inside of the building? What's responsibility for that?
Excuse me, ma'am?
Whose responsibility? I mean, whose responsibility to the building and inside of the building, such as collection inside?
Okay. It's actually under the responsibility of Riau Province cultural authorities, and specifically in Museum Sangla Utama organization, we have the coordinator, Miss.
Okay, thank you. That's the point. So the homework for them is too many because of the museums looks very bad. I saw the cockroach even inside. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yes.
how
The
many?
last time, okay.
How many collection are there?
Last time I visit, the tour guide there informed that there is 3,000 till 4,000 collections.
Okay. We have also guide there.
Yes.
From where? Do you know? Can you tell me?
There is a tour guide there, but not so many from the government itself.
Yeah. And do you know this negative effect when you use this digital one?
Yes, ma'am. At first, I recognized there is a negative effect, but after I consider between positive and negative, we see that there is a lot more positive effect because we should realize that we cannot depend all on technology. And I said that we still need the tour guide, but this tour guide going to be equipped and facilitate with this website. Therefore, they can inform the visitor more in sufficient way, so there is no mistake or misinformation.
Yeah, thank you. Make sure that the staff is also good in intelligence. Yeah.
Yes, madam.
Because I saw many things, many times the things happen always like that. When I ask this, they answer that. So it's not what in my mind. Okay. Then for museum, also we have the Bujang Dara. You know Bujang Dara from Riau? They
Yes.
also work there for making promotion, the promote museum, right? Do you
Yes.
agree with that?
Yes, we are doing the collaborations like the third step in my proposal that we are going to socialize and campaign not only with the influencer in Pekanbaru or Riau, but we are also collaborate with the ambassador such as like Duta Ujang Dara in Riau.
Good, great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank,
Good luck, yeah?
thank you, Redden, for the suggestions.
Well, thank you to Cynthia Wiranda and for all the judges. Well, the next turn is Kansen Pranata Wirantober. To Kansen Pranata Wirantober, time is yours.
Okay, sorry, my idol. Hello, my idol.
We cannot hear your voice clearly.
It's kind of cracking here.
Okay, let's begin your
And how right
presentation.
now? My idol.
No,
Yeah.
let's begin your
Okay.
presentation.
Okay. Berseri-seri tempat menyembuh, seri membau seikat bulu. Selamat siang, salam yuhu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable all the judges for today, and good afternoon to the all participants today. Let me introduce myself. My name is Kansum Pranata Wirantober, and I'm standing here to representing the Law Faculty, and I'm batch 2009. I'm so happy and excited to be here right now because I can share about my creative idea. The title about my creative idea is Mind Policy. It means permainan monopoli berbasis aplikasi as the method to introduction and learning about the law to society. And next, let's be told about the background of my creative idea. First, as we know in the Article 1, Paragraph 3 of Indonesian Constitution 1945 regarding from and sovereignty say that Indonesia is state based on law. So that as people who live in the state of law, we must have the high legal awareness to become the guideline for the living as in the stage. And we know in the philosophy background also, in the practical of legal fiction assumption that when the statutory regulation has been passed, at the time everyone is considered to know and is abiding, so that someone has not reason to be free from the regulation. And law learning background, Jimli Asidikin said, Jimli Asidikin as the legal expert say that state of law is not only about punishment, but also relate to many aspects like the democracy, education, human rights, welfare, and other. So that knowledge about the law is really important to be applied in this country right now. But however, in reality, there are still many people who don't know and don't understand and don't application about the law in everyday life. So the case of law in Indonesia can still hide right now. Second, currently, the government has made the effort to people can have the high awareness by providing socialization and seminar or something like that. But the problem is this method is really rigid and doesn't make the people enthusiastic to learning about the law from this method. And next, in Industry 4.0, many people do their activity with the help by the technology, and especially in the COVID-19 pandemic situation right now, making people do their activity from the home, so that internet and smartphone is really important role and are difficult to keep away from someone at this time. So we cannot go away from the internet and smartphone because we always use this internet and smartphone. And the next, therefore, bring together element of law and technology, the Monopoly game application was born. This application to be a method of learning with fun, practical, up-to-date in society. And it can be easy to accept by the old generation, especially for the young generation. And This also aligns with the Sustainable Development Goal point number 4, namely quality of education, and the 4 alinea of the opening Constitution Indonesia, namely to advance public welfare and educate of the national life. This can make it happen because it can make the people get a quality of education and the field of the law, and of course, can live in general welfare. And next, we talk about the formula problem formulation. The first, how the concept of mind policy is an introduction and learning about the law to society. And the goals, of course, to find out of how this application concept mind policy in introduction and learning about the law society. And the second, what are the benefits of the application concept of mind policy in introduction and learning about the law to society? And the goals, of course, to find out what are the benefits of the mind policy concept in the introduction and learning about the law to society. And we talk about benefit from this application. For the word of education, this application idea of mind policy described in the paper can be innovation and development of learning method among students. Second, for the academic, this idea of the mind policy described in the paper can be useful as the creative learning solution for study for the student in the COVID-19 pandemic and the use of the smartphone among students. In addition, this creative idea is expanded to be a future project for the academic so that it's become the birth of new idea for the progress of the country in the future. And the next for this country and for the society. Of course, for the society can get information, can get knowledge about the law and law case in the Indonesia. And this application will make the public more aware about the law, and of course, it will make the country can be better than before. And we told about the general description. This application is online game, which is from a Monopoly game, which has been modification as takes away to include element of general knowledge and information about the law material in Indonesia. The name of this application is Mind Policy. Apart from the containing knowledge about the law, this game also raise information about Indonesia. The example like logos all the province along with the case in each province in Indonesia. You can look in the screen right now. Look in the game's board box and Indonesia endemic animal as the player points. So I choose the cendrawasih as the endemic animal from Indonesia, especially in the Papua, so that we can feel more benefit and knowledge about these games. And next, the question is how to play these games. And of course, the first is make the account and login with the email, so that we as the developer can know how many people access this. And the second, the player shake the dice to get a number to determine each player move. The example like this, I shake the dice and I get a 3 points. So I'm finished in the kesempatan box. You can look the screen right now. The kesempatan box, and when the players stop in the kesempatan or the umum box, they will get a card with a question about the law in Indonesia, like this, and the player must answer this question. If the player cannot answer the question, they will get a punishment to give the money to the bank. And if the player, and next, if we shake again the dice and we get a 2 point and we finish in the Riau province. In the Riau province, if the player lands in the province box and the box doesn't have another player, they can buy the box by answer the law case on each province card and pay the fees. The example like this. Yes, however, if the player, however, in the another scenario, if the player lands in the province box, but this already owned by the another player, they can choose 2 options. The first option, they can pay the fine directly to the owner of the box before, or the second option, they can draw the kesempatan and dana umum to answer the question about the law. If they can answer the question, they can be free from the punishment. But if they cannot answer the question, from the card, the kesempatan and dana umum, they must pay and get a double punishment. So the trick for play this game is really you think before you play these games. And we told about the work mechanism. The first, application design. I also have the team to preparation this creative idea. Yes, I have the friend with the system information department to help me to make the application designs, and I have the friend in the communication department to help me how to as the public how to socialization about this game to the public. And also I have the friend with the from the law student, because I for help me to give information and give the material about the law for these games. And the first application design, we make all the visual designs, we make the games mechanism, we also make the system about these games, and of course we make the data collection for these games. The next, simulation. We must review and evaluation about design that have been made to look whatever the game is running well and there is no mistake up there. And if the clear, we go to the next step. The next step is launching. In the launching, after the review and evaluation is clear, we can launching games with a collaboration partner to the society. The next is game development. In the game development, after launching, we must look who and how many people access this game and how the response. And of course, we must do periodic update according to community needs and want from these games. And the last is awarding. And last but not least, we have awarding for the top 3 national player every 6 months. The award can be by certificate, give the certificate like the Master of Mind Policy Indonesia, which will we send the player email, and can be addition quota for the player. And of course we will post the winner player in the social media, so that
Sorry, Hansen, time is up.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's time for the judge give the question to the finalists. Start from Dr. Masteria.
Thank you. Nice. It's a little bit complicated, I think. You already have the application or something like examples for the applications in the apps, in the Google apps, or the what else, some Apple application, something like that. You already have it or not?
Yes, I also already to find the games or the applications sense like this in the App Store and the Apple Store, but I cannot find the application sense with this concept. And this concept is really new because material law is really hard to find the games or application have the material law up there. So these are really new, and I really excited to concept this new idea.
You think it's new because your background on your application or your game based on Monopoly, right?
Yeah.
So you just something modified, not to make
Yes.
something new, just modified something like that.
Yes.
So I think that's not the new. So and it's a little bit complicated, I think. So why? Because I don't know. The concept of the law that you explain that's really hard to the people to understand, because I think I'm thinking when you make this application that you just give the knowledge, something like that. For example, if I make the traffic violations, I got the penalty, something like that. I got the punishment, something like that. Like a law in our everyday, something like that. So not the like law or is what as he said, it is first like how, but I don't know in English, like a dasar negara, something like that in the application. Like I'm not much not like what I expected the game, something like that before the presentations. It's a little bit complicated. I think if you make the concept of your games only about the law in our like what we are doing in every day, something like that. That's much more people to understand, I think. So yeah, that's what's my question or my thank you.
Okay, okay, sorry. Thank you for the question. The first, why I choose the monopoly concept, because everyone in Indonesia and international people know about these games. And modification about these games is one the answer how to promotion about these games, because everyone know how to play these games or the monopoly games, how to rules and how to play these games. Why I choose the monopoly games and modification about this. The second, the concept of the main policy is just the first to make the awareness all the people in Indonesia know about the law, because until now we never know and we never find the application
Time is up.
the games have the material law
Consent.
and the material laws until now. Sorry.
Yeah, please continue.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. So until now we never find the games or
Sorry,
the application.
doctor and consent. Time is up. So we move to the
okay.
next judge.
Okay.
Kanzen.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, matter of using game, it is interesting, but monopoly is not something new, according to me.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. The things that, to my understanding, the games about law here, you provide the case or question, and then there's going to be a fixed answer, right? Is it? So there is no a room for critical response to the specific cases which written in the card of monopoly. Now, according to me, I'm sorry. So what is in your mind, what are the scope of law that you mean, which are installed in monopoly game here? Because law is very big, Do you talk about law enforcement, or do you talk about certain cases? Or what do you mean? Can you explain? Yeah, in your thinking about this proposal.
Sorry, ma'am. Can you replay again the question,
okay.
because I'm not clear to listening you.
Okay. To your mind, in your proposal, what is the scope of law that you mean? Do you think about cases in Indonesia? What cases?
Yes.
What are the scope? Yeah. One thing that are, to my interpretation, to understand about law, it's something progressive. One condition is like this, it could be moved to the next interpretation. Law is a matter of interpretation sometimes, if we refer to the article dengan undang-undang. Now, so which law that you mean in this monopoly? Okay, this is just my question.
Okay. Thank you for the question, ma'am. The first, to play these games, these games also have the concept, the law concept, and the law concept. What the law concept I said that in at there. The law concept is I said that before. Law is many aspects, like the democracy, like the human right and other. So in the law, the games also give the question about this, like the human right, like the example like Indonesia, hak asasi manusia adalah hak yang sangat penting. Human rights is really important. So hak asasi ini diatur dalam apa seperti itu? Dalam pasal berapa misalnya seperti itu? It can be material of law, so that the people know the human right is have the perlindungan in bahasa. We know that perlindungan in the Constitution of Indonesia, and we know the case of another province.
Thank you, Kansen. We move to the next judge.
Okay.
All right. Yes. Kansen, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, ma'am.
Yes. Since the online games very challenging to go to the next level and next level and next level, something like that.
Yes.
Do you have any plan to modify or to make this creative idea become another or next level? Or
Yes, ma'am.
just one around of that Monopoly, just one around, and then after that, okay, and then. So what is your what is your planning?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the question. Yes, ma'am. It's really the games is have the level up to up and up to up again. And I say that the concept is the first step. I just say that of the first step. If the player finish about this step, they can go to the next steps. Like we have the step like the easy step, the medium step, and the high level step. So it can be up to up and up to up. Because this, I say that before, in these games, we must have the programmer to always up to date, like what the society need and what the society want from these games, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Hello, Kansen. How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm really happy and excited, but a little bit nervous right now.
It's all right then. All right. Monopoly is really my favorite board games. So when I saw your paper and saw the Monopoly, quite interesting. But there's a problem. It's Monopoly, we're talking about life cycle in Monopoly. In Monopoly, you learn about economy. In Monopoly, you know about law, rules in here. In Monopoly, you talk about wealth and life cycle, about norm. But in here, you try to make a niche. The main Monopoly, you more narrow to law only. This is really complicated, actually. Seriously, because Monopoly, you have to play how to control and how to make it your monopoly, hold that things. But you cannot get out from the law. I still don't understand what the concept of really Monopoly. I mean, it's not Monopoly, but a board game. It's differently, completely different. Because you only talk about the law. And the second main problem is, we're talking about the law, there's really a lot of the law. You have to more particularly, which law you mean? Is law about economic? The law about culture? The law about what? So can you give me some reason for that? Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, the first about the Monopoly. The first, I think I choose the Monopoly concept because I think it's the similar games for the society. So I can modification about these games, make the society know and can understand how to play these games, and it's easy to understand about my games. The first, I think Monopoly concept is like this. So, but if you say that it's a board games, yes, I think it can be a board games also. And and the second, the Monopoly can be. You said that Monopoly, the law have a many aspects. Maybe the law in the academic, maybe the law and the culture. Yes, I think before I can give anything low it there. So that, yes, I said that step by step, and the low step, and the first step, we give the low material in the general, like the easy material low. And the second step, like the medium level, we give a specific law about like the culture, about the human right, something like that, sir. Maybe it can be happen if the medium always up to that, and medium and the low material will be up to that also, and will be and more about specific and more about more specific again, sir.
That's completely different with the Monopoly.
Yes.
So stop comparing with Monopoly. Okay.
Okay, sir.
You try to
Okay,
make
sir.
a board game a new game. It's not Monopoly to change about.
Okay, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir.
Thank you. And Pranata,
Yes, ma'am.
that's your name too, yeah?
Yes, also.
Right. It's quite interesting for me. Policy, yeah? Mind policy, the title is. Can you say which one is difficult to do when you have the real mind policy than the online thing?
Sorry, ma'am.
Can you say something about if we have the real mind policy than the online things, which one is difficult for you?
Okay, ma'am. If we directly is really hard. Maybe it's really hard because we must have the teams to play these games together. We must. It's really hard to invite people come in the one room to play with you. It's really hard. But in the online games, you just chat, or you just call your friend to invite in the one room, in the to invite the download this application. And if your friend already download and you already download and log in together, you can play these games. And so you don't need to together in the one room. You don't need to make the time for inviting someone, something like that.
Okay, good. And what has you do? I mean, you have something that you try to do first with your friend as the target, such your colleague or something.
Yes, ma'am. I already try to play these games. I make the Monopoly games directly, and I play with my friends in the youth community. I play that. My friend in the youth community never and not have the background in the low education. So I play with my friend in the youth community, and they excited to play these games because they think it's the new, and they get a lot of information about the law, and they are really excited to learn and know about the case of law in the another province. So before they always know about the case of law in the Riau province, maybe West Sumatra, it's just in the regional. But they after they play these games, they also know about the case law in the Kalimantan, in the Sulawesi, and they are really excited to hear that, ma'am.
Okay, great. Then, how many persons involved in this online game, actually?
Yes, the online game can play 2 until 4 player, ma'am. So it can be individual or in groups.
Okay. Then what's your way to promote this one?
Sorry, ma'am?
The way to promote from you? What's the way? The special way, I mean.
Okay. Yes, the special way, because I finished the time before I finish my presentation, the socialization about this to the public, about these games to the public. The first collaboration with the Ministry of Education and the university to support to the student and college in the college or the school about these games, and also I collaboration with the organization of law, like the National Law Debate Community Indonesia, Law Connection Indonesia, to promote these games in the social media like the Twitter, Instagram, and something like that. And also I'm collaboration with the law student in the many university in Indonesia, because they support the material of law to give the information about the law to society. So I will collaboration with them.
Okay, good luck. Thank you. That's from me.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much to Kansen Pranata and all the judges. We move to the next presentator, to Zena Novatia Zahra. Time is yours.
Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Respectful all of the judges, the committee, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zena Novatia Zahra, and I am from the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Riau. Before beginning my presentation, I would like to say thank you very much to the committees that have given me an opportunity to stand in front of you all and to deliver my presentation. So today, I will present about my creative proposal. The title is AgriNet, Agriculture Connection, Supply Chain Management System through Smart and Integrated Applications to realize food security of Riau province. Food security is an urgent issue. The total food production in 2016 to 2018 has not been able to meet the food needs of the population. So the food from the outside region is needed. The total food production in 2018 in Riau province was about 3 million tons, a decrease compared to 2017. There is an imbalance in food production between regions, which causes an increase of the problem of food distribution and food distribution costs, thus making it difficult to supply food spatially evenly throughout the region. The prices of agricultural commodity among the consumer tend to be high in another areas due to overdemand, while in another areas it can experience a shortage. It can experience low food prices because of oversupply. One of the main reasons for gaps and price speculation in the field is the difficulty of accessing information and the absence of a platform that can be used as a means of exchanging of information in food products. So the problem is increasing agricultural production must be supported by information and knowledge to provide optimal results. The importance of information and technology in the logistic and distribution process, and lack of equal distribution of agricultural business in various regions in Riau province will affect the distribution of agricultural commodity production. As a result of this uneven distribution, it will make the food product stock in one area to be accessed, while in another area it can experience a shortage of food product stock. Adequate or even access in a food availability is not accompanied by adequate food access. This results in food absorption that is not optimal, so that many provinces in Indonesia have not been able to achieve food security even though they have reached a food surplus. Of course, this will cause us an imbalance of food production or food price in each area, because seeing this, it is necessary to design and implement a system information to provide various collection of food products in each region. So as we can see, there is a difference. There is a difference of amount of harvest area, productivity, and production of agricultural products in several areas in Riau province. And The number of farmers that used in internet in 2018 was about 4.5 million. Meanwhile, based on the data of Internet Association Service Provider Indonesia Internet Service Provider Association or APGII, in March 2019, as many as 33.5% of farmers in Indonesia have used an internet network. So here I am, Zenano Patiata, from Faculty of Agriculture, proudly presents AgriNext. AgriNext is an application where the facilities are available to collaborate with local and regional producers, aggregators, and distributors, so as to ensure that food remains available, affordable, and safe for the community. In this application, the actors in the agricultural sector, such as farmer and trader, can share data, store data and information generated from upstream to downstream. Now, with internet, virtualization can be used dynamically in the operational management on the food supply chain. If one of the parties doesn't have sufficient information, the available option and decision that can be taken are limited. Vice versa, the quality information will provide an opportunity to the parties to get the best choices. So, in AgriNext application, there are four main features, namely Sahabat Tani, Distribusi Tani, Pasar Tani, and Smart Info Tani. In Sahabat Tani, agricultural agency can individually provide a report if their area meets the unrequired supply from the other region. And the farmer can report too if the commodity is oversupplied. In Distribusi Tani, this feature functions for the distribution system of agricultural commodities that have been ordered in advance. And in Pasar Tani, this feature functions for the agricultural commodities that want to be marketed can be marketed through the online, through this application, and the digital transaction can be made too. And in Smart Info Tani, this feature function is to provide data and information that has been carried out starting from agricultural production data, distribution line data, sales prices in the market, also advice and forum. So there are many obstacles in the agricultural marketing process, such as continuity production and adequate market and lengthy market channels and insufficient market information. So this is the output of this product. This output of this product is collection and information of farmer who produce agricultural products with specification and prices, and information of availability of goods, information of schedule for harvesting agricultural products, information online distribution and delivery of agricultural products, and last but not least, information of market and prices. So this is the process to run this program. To make this application will follow observation of field condition, prepare the grand design, socialization and consolidation with related parties, application planning stage of data collection and application content, design, programming, and testing, until the application release and application operation, and also we need a periodic evaluation. So, with data transparency and price transparency, it will make the market more efficient and more competitive for all actors in food supply chain. And also, the farmer will get the agronomic data, sales and prices data so as to create price stability for agricultural commodities in farmer and consumer. So, if this application developed in the supply chain management, it will certainly minimize the role of intermediaries. The beneficiaries, either the farmer and consumer, where the prices of agricultural products will be cheaper than the previous one. And it also helps the government to monitor the prices of agricultural commodities that has an effect in inflation. And it also facilitates the downstream industry because the industry, the agro industry or the companies will find it easier to get the raw material supplies for their production. So this is the budget. The cost required for application development calculated by the activity-based method is equal to 70 million rupiah, while the labor cost required is approximately 42 million rupiah. So, the stakeholders are the government are expected to cooperate in developing the AgriNet application are the government from the provincial level. In addition, the partner in developing this AgriNet application are the cooperative in every village and also agricultural agency in each region. The government agency serve as a legal agency in developing the AgriNet application. And the government can also make the AgriNet application concept in realizing a climate of creative and innovative utilization of the agricultural sector. And this application will support the Sustainable Development Goals number 2, which is zero hunger, number 8, decent work and economic growth, and number 12, responsible consumption and production. Last but not least, I would like to share a quote. The song is, science and technology coupled with improved human capital have been powerful drives of positive change in the performance and evolution of smallholder system by Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. I think that's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, thank you so much. For Zena, it's time for judge to give questions to the finalists. Start from Dr. Masteria.
Thank you. Can I call you Rosana or
Zena.
Zena? Okay.
Yeah.
Zena. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say congratulations for your application. That's nice application, and I think a farmer or distributor or wholesaler need this application. Yeah, there is some of the similar application with your application. I check it also in internet or the application in App Store or Google Store, and there is some of the package almost similar with you. But this I still not check really detail. But the first thing what you have to do, you have to go to Ministry of Agriculture, then present your application. I think your application already have in Google Store, right? Not yet?
Okay, sorry for before, sir. This application is only my idea, and
Oh, still your idea.
yeah, and I hope this application will be implemented soon as possible.
Okay, yeah, you have to go to first the Ministry of Agriculture and present your idea, something like that, and ask the investor, or you have to make a startup if you already have your application, or just 50% of 60% you already built your application. But if people really need this application, I think the farmer really needs this application. Also, the wholesaler or distributor need the application. I think you just make in the region of Riau first. I think this will be much more great, and ask the investor to invest your application, and yeah, this will be help people. And the second is you need to thinking about not only the amount of the agriculture, but also put in your application about the quality. So that's really important, because the consumers need know also the quality of the products, not only the amount of the product. So not only, okay, we have something rice only 1 ton or something like that, but they need the quality, something like that. So you need to put in your application, because without the quality, people will not believe with the product. That's much more important thing. So the quality is also very important. So that is my question and suggestion. Thank you and good luck, Zina. And yeah, I hope I will get your application in 1 week or 2 weeks in App Store or Google in Google Store. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your suggestion.
Well, thank you, Dr. Masteria. The second judge to give questions is Ma'am Afisi. To Ma'am Afisi, time is yours.
You. My turn, yeah. actually, this is not the new things, right? Zina is like a woman hero in a film. Yeah, I like to see your smile. That's why I start that one. You have the problem here, right?
Right, ma'am.
What is your main problem?
Okay, my main problem is not all of the farmer have used the gadgets and know how to use this application. So I think I must collaborate and cooperate with the agricultural extension in socialize how to use and how to download and what is the benefit of my application. So they will support my application and they will use that.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Your target is only the farmer? Is that?
Not only the farmer. In developing, my target is the actor in all agricultural sectors, such as the trader and the consumer. So this application will help the consumer to get the best prices of agricultural commodity, ma'am.
Okay. Can you show me one example if you're using this application?
Okay. If I, as a consumer, using this application, I can get the agricultural commodity with lower price and also with the nearest. This application will integrate with Google Maps, so we can see the nearest area and the nearest farmer that sells the agricultural commodity. So the agricultural commodity is still fresh. I think that's all, ma'am.
Okay, and then we buy the product from online. That's what do you mean? Is that? Okay. Are you sure that this is the way, one of the way out to have the solve the problem for economic and the farming?
Okay, I think this is one solution to solve the agricultural problem, because as we know, the farmer have to sell their commodity into the collector with the lower prices, because they don't have a chance to take the prices, because the prices is from the collector, and they always doesn't have a change for that.
Okay.
So I think we can cut the distribution line with the long distribution in agricultural product.
Okay, but you know that the situation is our farmers, many of our farmers in Indonesia that have not too many knowledge about the online system. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, Assalamualaikum Zina.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Zina with Z.
Yeah.
Okay, Zina. Okay, you remind me about my project 7 years ago. I tried to make a build application like you, exactly the same, which we call KUD. I invest almost 1 billion rupiahs. 1 billion. 1 miliar rupiah already. And fail. Boom. Why? Because there's lots of resistance in here, many obstacles. I'm just sharing my experience with you. First things with about the commodity with about mass production, right? It's different with other product. I try to make KUD as a marketplace. It's really hard to control the quality because of mass production. For example, like this, I want to buy not 1 or 2 semangka. Semangka is easy, watermelon, right? But I need 1 or 2 ton, right? Watermelon. It is different with the Tokopedia, only 1-2 product, right? Quality control of that is really hard. For example, from 2 tons of watermelons, only half accepted and half rejected, and how you can to pay that. That's the first thing. The second thing about distribution, we're talking about distribution is not only using Tiki or GNE. No, you cannot. We're talking about the big armada. Yeah, the supply chain about that. The third thing about payment gateway, it's really hard. And the fourth thing about the farmers' lack of the technology, knowledge about technology. It's really hard. 7 years already and collapse now. 1 billion rupiahs I invested. Now it's still not make it any profit because it's really hard. So, but I don't know. I need something new. You have to think about something new. You break through the barrier and you find out the way. Because I tried to find it with all that thing my teams, good on the IT, no, we cannot make it. So try to reconsider and make it more narrow. Which product you have to, you try to make it. Or you have to collaborate with Bulog, which means you just try to collect the data, not for selling. If you're selling, it's really hard because quality control is number one. Second thing about the fraud, there's many frauds there. Trust me. Okay? And just give advice, not question, because it's really hard. And I know for 70 millions, it's not almost impossible. 70 million, I get already 1 billion. It's really hard. Okay? Thank you. Good luck for your job. Sina? Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum, Zena.
Waalaikumsalam, ma'am.
Yeah. What is your opinion about our situation, the situation of our food security today?
Can you repeat, ma'am? Because I didn't hear full the question.
Okay. So before you talk about food security in this paperwork, yeah, you talk about food security. So what is your opinion about our food security today or nowadays in Riau province particularly?
Okay, thank you for the question, ma'am. I will try to answer it. I think there is two indicators in the food security, namely availability and the access. Now, availability in the food, especially in Sumatra, is fulfilled, but in the access, I think there is a lack of equal for the distribution and for the access. So, and the third things about the food security, especially in Riau province, I think this is food security talks about the level of consumption in the customer. So the level of consumption not fulfilled goodly in this situation, and we have passed the COVID-19, so that many distribution is. So we need to make the access to food, so the food can be available and access with good. I think that's all, ma'am.
Okay, so there are two things, yeah, in food security: the accessibility and the availability. Yeah, but you have to be aware as well about the distribution of the agricultural product, like respiration. Yeah, you know, if you distribute the agricultural product, yeah, the fresh one, you have to consider about the time, about the, yeah, especially about the time, because the respiration can deteriorate the product. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Zena.
Good
Yeah.
afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, this is my turn to ask you a question. So this is very interesting topic, and I'm just want to know, because this kind of app, yeah, sometimes that you need to update. You need to update, and also you need to do a training for the farmer to use that, and you need to also to train the supplier, maybe a lot of work. So how are you going to maintain the sustainability of this app?
Okay, thank you for the question, ma'am. How I maintain the sustainability for this application? At the first, for the budget, I think I must be corporate with the government in to support my application. And if my application have growth and have much farmer and consumer and much user, and I think with the download, with the how many of download the application in Play Store, and then it can be the add in the application, and then we can take the investor in to invest in my application to develop, because the application need a maintenance budget and the development, and the application must be updated every time, I think. Okay, I think that's all, ma'am.
Thank you. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you for all the judges and Zena Novatia Zahra. For the next turn, we have Ariful Ramadan for the next presenter. To Ariful Ramadan, time is yours.
Okay, A'udzubillahiminasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, thanks to Almighty God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and blessings to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Dear judges, committee, and other finalists, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'll begin by telling you that I took this idea personal because I had some sort of humanity call that I have to do something to overcoming this pandemic of COVID-19. And my response to that call is KFI, Convalescent for Indonesia, as an effort to accelerate the handling of COVID-19 in Indonesia. As we know that the first case of COVID-19 in Indonesia was found on the 2nd March 2020. And according to the COVID-19.go.id, which the official website from the government, there are 1.56 million of people in Indonesia who have been infected and 1.4 million who have recovered, but sadly, 42,000 have died. COVID-19 has infected more than 200 countries all around the world. And we have been fighting so much, we have struggled so much for the last 16 months. But there are good news is that we have found a vaccine. And the basic principle of vaccine is to prevent the infection to happen. And there's one question pop up in my mind that what about the COVID-19 patients? They cannot be cured by a vaccine, because as I mentioned earlier, the vaccine is to prevent the infection. They need an antidote and a treatment to cure their infection. And one of the treatment is the convalescent plasma therapy. So the convalescent plasma therapy is not a new thing in medical work. The basic principle of this therapy is to provide the convalescent plasma or the plasma from the COVID-19 survivors to develop humoral immunity that is tasked to fight the pathogens of COVID-19. Convalescent plasma therapy is one of the best options that we have now. In practical, this therapy will be effective if it used in early stages of COVID-19 infection. Why? Because in early stages of COVID-19 infection, our humoral immunity can easily to neutralize the coronavirus. Therefore, the Food and Drug Administration have agreed and have provided a recommendation to this method. Palang Merah Indonesia needs around 5,000 bags convalescent plasma donors per month. This low interest of convalescent plasma donors is due to the lack of information and the ignorance of the public about this method, about this treatment. And this suggests that a massive dissemination of convalescent therapy is needed in order to fulfill our national need. Because as you can see, there is a big gap. There is 4,000 bags gap that we need to fulfill. And for Indonesia, by utilizing the role of social media in conducting dissemination more widely and more massively. And you might ask, why social media? So the reason of utilization social media in conducting dissemination about convalescent plasma therapy is because of its considerable coverage. As you can see, the Ministry of Communication and Informatics notes that there are 132 million active internet users, and 97.7% out of them, or 129 million of them, have social media accounts with an average usage 3.5 hours per day. And what about the Riau province? So, Badan Pusat Statistik Indonesia has conducted a census, and as the result, Riau province has a population of 6.39 million of people, and approximately 45% of them are active internet users. And coming back to the idea, what is Convalescent for Indonesia? So, Convalescent for Indonesia is a movement to build public awareness. What I mean by public is the COVID-19 survivors, that their plasma is urgently needed in handling COVID-19. And as you can see the other side of the screen, there is a structure of Convalescent for Indonesia. So, Convalescent for Indonesia has 4 divisions that is supervised by Palang Merah Indonesia and Riau Provincial Health Department. So, the first one is the Public Relations Division that is tasked to be the link and the bridge between KFI and related agencies. And the second is Study and Science Division that is tasked to keep following the latest development, the newest development in handling COVID-19 in Indonesia. And the third one is the Creative Design Division, is tasked to create and producing informative and attractive content about convalescent plasma. And the last one is Social Media Management, is tasked to manage the KFI social media account. And the last one is Convalescent for Indonesia's goals are, the first one is to increase the public awareness about how to prevent and how to handle COVID-19. And the second is to increase the stock of convalescent plasma. As you can see earlier, there's a 4,000 bags gap that we need to fulfill. And hopefully, it will increase the cure rate and reduce the death rate. And hopefully, the snowballing effect to our economy and politics of Indonesia. Hopefully, the government of Indonesia will create another model of economy and politics that can sustain in any kind of situation. I think that's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, to Dr. Masteria, time is yours.
Thank you. Ariful, right? Can I call you Ariful?
Yes, sir. Yes, you can call me Arif.
I still not got the point what is convalescence KFI, yeah, right? What you that's the foundation or what?
So convalescent for
Is that
Indonesia
a foundation?
is no, it start off with become a community, sir. So I hope there's a volunteers that will work with me to disseminate this convalescent plasma therapy. Because yes, sir.
So this only communities. It's meant that community to educate people about the importance of the convalescent plasma, or the community for the former patient COVID-19. So
it's the first one, sir.
What's your target? What's your target?
To educate the first one, sir. The first one. To educate the people about the convalescent plasma therapy, because it's kind of promising treatment to handling COVID-19, sir. Because I heard about a story about Marty Guwowic. Do you know him, sir? Marty Guwowic, and he said that a few months ago he got infected by COVID-19, and then he got injected with the plasma of COVID-19 survivors, and it just took around 7 days or 13 days in the hospital.
Yeah, I mean that's not new. It's not the new thing, because the convalescent plasma for the COVID-19 already 1 year ago, and the NPB or what the Ministry of Health already have the list of the people for the former patient for the COVID-19 that can be a donor for the patient of COVID-19. So they already know how to check the antibody of the people, that the people will be able to donor of the antibody or convalescence to the patient of COVID-19. So, and I think the people already knew about the importance of convalescent, but the convalescent plasma is not the treatment for the cure of COVID-19 right now, but this is only one of step for the emergency use authorization. So you need to know that, and you need to educate people, because that's not a medicines, okay? That's only you got your plasma, have the antibody for the COVID, the antibody for SARS-CoV-2 to inject the people for the patient COVID-19, and the antibody in the patient COVID-19 will be increasing. So you need to aware about that. So I think convalescent for Indonesia, you need to. It's not something new, so I'm not much more interested with that. But you need to go to BNPB. So BNPB already have the data about that, and Ministry of Health already data of that. So if you want to make the community based on data that they already have, because first, if there is a patient COVID-19, they have to get for the medium test of the COVID-19, okay? Not the mild condition of COVID-19, but the medium condition of COVID-19. So you already know the parameter of that before you ask the people to do the convalescent for Indonesia. So that's it for me. Thank you very much, and
Thank you,
good luck.
sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the advice.
Well, we move to the second judge to give question. Ma'am Afisi, time is yours.
Thank you, Ramadan. Is that Ramadan your name?
Yeah, ma'am. You can call me Ramadan.
You look thinking, oh, yeah, your name. Ramadan, actually, this is just a simple way to help the students in the university to collaborate with you. What do you call that? You're eager to have, to have the potentials of as a solution for COVID. Then Is this a kind of information only? Is that
Uh,
only the kind of information that you would like to share to the team?
I'm sorry, ma'am. That wasn't clear enough. I can't hear you.
It's not good connection, yeah.
No, your voice is too slow for me.
Too slow.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't clear enough. I can't understand it.
Yeah, okay. Now, this is a kind of information only, right? This is just a kind of information only, not an application, right?
It's Instagram account, ma'am. So I use Instagram, just like another volunteers program, in order to do a dissemination about this convalescent, ma'am.
Your target is? What's your target?
My target
Yeah.
for the first, in particular, the Riau province, youth, ma'am.
Riau
So
province.
the youth should know about this treatment, ma'am.
Okay, then have you do something about this and get the result?
I haven't found my team, ma'am, because now I work on my own. I still have found my team. So the first step is I want to find my team. I want to find my team and can collaborate and brainstorming to determine the next step that we need to take, ma'am.
Okay, and the next problem is, do you have problem in doing this except the team?
No, just the team, ma'am. The only problem is I don't have a team, and I'm now working on my own. So the first step is I need to find my team.
To share this Instagram is easy now, is that? To share the
What, ma'am?
information in Instagram is easy, right?
Yes, it's easy, but to maintain the program, ma'am, there will many obstacles that hold in the front, because I don't know the real situation in the field. That's why I need to prepare myself with a team. It's not just about to giving information about the convalescent plasma therapy, about the COVID-19. I want to do something more than that. One of my lecturers said that you have to collaborate with Hospital Arifin Ahmad and ask about their database of COVID-19 survivors. And then you, as in the Indonesian expression, we can call it picking a ball or jemput bola. So yeah, he suggests me to come in door to door to ask them, would they give their plasma or would they volunteering to check their plasma to donor it.
Okay,
Because-
sorry, Ariful Ramadan. Time
Okay.
is up.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ramadan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Assalamualaikum, Arifur Ramadan.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Because my voice about a bit louder. My voice about my louder. Okay, Arifur Ramadan.
Yes, sir.
Your programs about social movement based on media social, particularly in Instagram, right?
Instagram. Yes.
And you budget only 150,000, correctly?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we don't have to put in the program because you can do your own without any help from us. Correctly?
Yeah.
Right? And I think I got no further question. Just get advice, perhaps one thing to fulfill and to help you out from your program. Perhaps you collaborate with any hospital in Riau, particularly for regional hospital. Arifin Ahmed, they get a lot of information about the patient of COVID-19, right? And try to find out the next thing a bit bigger than this, right?
Okay, sir.
I saw in
Yeah.
you, it's really so simple and sederhana.
Yeah.
So simple. Yeah, I don't know. I can do it my own
I just-
without any programs. 150,000. If you don't have money, I have mine. So you can use mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I just took this as the first step.
We are expecting more than you. With your ability, with your knowledge, I think you can do more than that. Perhaps you can expand the media social with Facebook, perhaps, right? Or other media social is not only on Instagram. Perhaps website you can build, right?
Well, I
And-
thought about an application, sir, but the application. So the main reason people will download an application is they need to curious about the application, and to seeking that curiosity is hard for me, sir. So that's why I use Instagram. So the apps that everyone use it in their daily life.
Sometimes we don't need application. We just need a simple one, like Instagram and Facebook. As long as it can fulfill my demands, can fulfill their needs, is correctly, right? Good luck,
Yes.
and please improve, and please be better way, and please expand your target. Is too small for me, and I think you have to get more than that. Okay, keep
Okay,
good
sir.
work, and God bless you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum, Mariful.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, ma'am.
All right. Yeah, we keep discussing about COVID-19 and then how to solve it. Do you know that one person who experienced COVID and then their blood plasma long lasting for 3 months only? Do you know that?
I'm sorry, man. It wasn't clear. I can't hear you.
Yeah, to my understanding, the duration for the blood plasma, those who experience COVID only long lasting for 3 months. Ini kenapa? Sensitive.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, ma'am.
All right.
Ah.
Very full. Yeah. Okay. Convalescent that you propose, it's taken from blood plasma, right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
One thing not everyone know.
Sorry, Ariful Ramadan. We hear noise from you. Please mute yourself.
I did mute it.
Okay, thank you.
Is it okay? Still. Where does it from? Not from
Please mute yourself.
Mute myself.
Mute.
Your second device?
I have muted it.
All right.
I have.
Okay. Let's see. Now it's better. Okay. So the idea of taking blood plasma, it's some ways is good, but it's not going to solve the COVID-19 for a longer term. Because not everyone would like to contribute perhaps their blood plasma, because to my understanding,
to take the blood plasma for someone who experienced COVID, it takes a long time. It's about 6 hours, if I'm not mistaken. Now, so it's not a simple case, you know. For the one who can share, while they already become the victim, and then again become sick again for the needle. That's another thing. Now, so what are the other ways, according to you, to solve the COVID-19? You know, rather than 3M, you know, that is the common. What are the good ideas which can solve the problem?
To solve the COVID-19, ma'am, according to my opinion, the vaccine, about the vaccine. The vaccine is the basic principle of the vaccine is it's specific task. So the vaccine, as an example, a vaccine might work to some part of virus, some type of virus, but in the other type, another different type of COVID, the vaccine would not work to that virus. So the vaccine is not the answer either. And the answer is we have to increase our immunity, ma'am. Either we have consumed vitamin, minerals, or else, or etc. And if you got infected by the COVID-19, you have to through some treatment, and depend on the case. If you mild case, you just need to.
I'm so sorry, Ariful Ramadan. Time is up.
Sorry, I'm sorry, ma'am. That's all from me.
Okay, Hariful. I would like to ask about how this project actually relevant to the SDGs goal. Could you explain about that, because we couldn't find it in your paper? Thank you.
So, thank you, ma'am, for the question. This related to the point number 4 in the SDGs. It could help, ma'am. So, because this COVID-19 has been 16 months in our beloved Earth and beloved Indonesia, we have to remove this pandemic pretty soon enough, just to we can live normally. Because some of us, as me as a student, I want to go to the campus, I want to go to the library to study, to take lessons, and many other of my friends are complaining about this pandemic situation. And that's why I took the initiative about this treatment. At least I can contribute in order to handling the COVID-19 in Indonesia.
Okay, thank you. That's all from.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for all the judges and Ariful Ramadan. We move to the next presenter. Please welcome Sharizan.
Okay, let me share screen first. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait. Okay. Before that, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. I'm going to start my presentation in 3, 2, 1. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Nelson Mandela. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable, all the judges and all the audiences. In this occasion, I'm Sharizan, the representative of Faculty of Teacher Training and Education Universitas Riau, will be presenting my creative idea or my paper for most outstanding students university levels 2021 senior category. The title of my scientific paper, my paper is Go Teach, a creative teaching guide application for parents during pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, in this presentation, I would like to tell you three things. First of all, the background of the problems, and second of all, cottage application. What kind of application it is, and how this kind of application can solve the problems, and lastly, the benefits and the conclusion. Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs is one of the most important agenda nowadays. There are 17 goals to transform our world in SDGs. One of the goal is goal number 4, quality education, which is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. But unfortunately, this kind of agenda cannot be running well or even cannot be achieved at all because pandemic COVID-19. In order to prevent this, our government has created a new policy by eliminating face-to-face learning and change to the online learning. But in consequence, it's bring many negative impacts, especially for the students itself. Based on the data from the UNICEF, the evaluation of
Sorry, Sharizan. Hello.
as always, and
Sharizan.
of the COVID-19.
Sharizan.
Yep.
Please repeat your presentation from the previous slide.
Oh,
Please repeat your presentation from the previous slide.
this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this kind of pandemic, COVID-19 also hampers towards the parents itself. Parents cannot accompany their children, and the parents also very difficult to follow.
Dek, berhenti dulu ya. Ada masalah di sini.
Okay, sure.
Check, check. Well, we are really sorry for the inconvenience. Basharizan, let's begin your presentation.
The comedy, can I just begin at the very first slide? Or just continue? It's quite uncomfortable here because of these technical issues.
Yeah, sure. You can start from the first.
Okay,
From the first
thank
slide.
you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm going to start my presentation in 3, 2, 1. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Nelson Mandela. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable, all the judges and all the audiences. I'm Sharizan, the representative of Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Universitas Riau. Will be presenting my paper for Most Outstanding Students University Selection 2021 Senior Category. The title of my paper is Go Teach, a creative teaching guide application for parents during pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, in this occasion, I would like to tell you 3 things. First of all, the background of the problems, and second of all, the Go Teach application, how this application looks like, and how this kind of application can solve the problems. And lastly, the benefits and the conclusion. Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, is one of the most important agenda nowadays, especially for the members of the United Nations. There are 17 goals to transform our world. One of the goals is the number 4, which is quality education, which is to ensure inclusive, equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. But unfortunately, this kind of agenda cannot be running well or even cannot be achieved at all because the pandemic COVID-19. In order to prevent it, our government already created a new policy by eliminating face-to-face learning and change to the online learning. In consequence, this kind of policy create a negative impact towards to the students. Based on the data from the UNICEF, the evaluation of online learning in Indonesia from 4,000 students, there are 66% feel uncomfortable and anxiety in online learning. Moreover, this also happens in Riau province, and it also happens towards to the parents itself. Parents cannot follow the online learning. The parents cannot always accompany the children in online learning. Moreover, the impacts of the COVID-19 towards the students. Students get psychological disorders and undeveloped skills, and especially for the first grade elementary school students, because we need to understand the characterization of first grade elementary school students. They are less focused, and then they don't have any basic skills in studying, such as reading, writing, speaking, and etc. And they also have their own uniqueness. That's why, as a parents, we need to understanding their characters and cultivating a good characters from an early age by directing, developing, and facilitating them with a proper education and a good method in teaching, because it is important to fulfill. And we cannot deny the important roles of parents in education. They can be academic companion, academic advisor, and also moral supporter. And in the COVID-19 right now, it's become more difficult for the parents to fulfill their roles because their roles become more, and then it creates double burdens towards to the parents. Parents need to assist their children. Parents need to teach and understand all the subjects, even if they don't have any educational background, and etc. And it leads to stress towards to the parents. That's why, in order to overcome these problems, Cottage application exists. Cottage application is an application collaborating with the ease of technology and creative ways of teaching. There will be available on the smartphone, therefore it's accessible, and therefore it can be effective and efficient. And in Cottage application, there will be main menus and then sub menus, and in Cottage application, there will be clear teaching step, learning objective, and indicators of the competency achievement. So the process just like this. The moment when the parents never know how to teach their children in a good way, they can just simply follow the teaching step here because there will be teaching step with a clear step by step, and it is very simply. That's why they can very easy to follow the teaching step. And there will be also learning objective here. The learning objective is very important here in order to make the parents know and understand what kind of the objective in this kind of the material, and what kind it is not the objective of this kind of material. And there will be indicators of competency achievement, because we need to understand in order to know whether the competency already achievable or not. It should based on the indicator itself. And there will be creative practices and quizzes. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the one that can very attract the student attention. In this case, is the first grade elementary school students, because there will be picture just like this, so they can very easy and very interested to learn this kind of the things. And there will be also variety of ways such as imitating voices, singing, playing roles, and etc. And in Cottage application, there will be also grades of the learning outcomes of evaluation. So the process is just like this. The moment when the children already finished all of the practices and the quizzes, it's automatically sent to the progress of the students itself. So the moment when it is already there, so the teacher and the parents can easily to observe what kind of the things that already achieved, what kind of the thing already good for the children, and what thing that need to be developed, and etc. And then there will be notes or suggestion from the teacher itself. Yeah, it's also notes here, so the teacher can be easily to type down what kind of the things that need to be developed for the children itself to the parents in order to make the children better, and the teacher still can observe the children itself. And got this application in terms of the smart analysis. First, this is specific because this is specific for the parents of first grade students in elementary school students in Riau province with no teaching background. And it is measurable because the evaluation and assessment based on quizzes and the graphs performance, and the scope of this application only in Riau. So this is very easy to measure. And then it is acceptable because this is easy and higher mobility. And it also realistic because it's in line with the modern era and the needs of the education itself. And lastly, this is time bound because this is giving step-by-step impact and less consuming time. And what are the benefits of this application? First, for the parents can easy to teach their children, and they can just simply follow these teaching steps and the objective in the Cottage application. For the students can learn easily and then in an attractive way. And for the teacher can still observe their students and still can fulfill their roles in education, even if today in this pandemic COVID-19. And for the researcher can still develop and give the reference to the researcher in order to create a better things here. And for the government, exactly, we can stop and preventing the spreading of the COVID-19 because we support the government program, right? And then what is the conclusion of my product or my application? So Cottage is an alternative solution for parents in teaching their children during this pandemic situation. So those are for me. And then thank you so much for your attention. And I apologize for all my mistakes. Last, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, thank you so much to Sarizan. Well, to Dr. Mastria, time is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How are you, Sarizan? Good?
Yeah, pretty well, sir.
Okay. Yeah, nice presentation, but okay. According to my opinions, it is not a new platform because during pandemic, so many similar platform with your application. So there's like a Ruang Guru, that's a big competitor because they already have national. Even in Singapore, I think they have also platform in Singapore, I think. And others, what's your you want this your platform is you still want to build the platform, right? You still don't have your platform in apps store or in the Google store. So I just want to know, in your opinion, what is the strong and weakness in your platform, so you can be competitor with the big platforms that already have right now. So
Okay, thank you, sir. First of all, I would like to clarify. Well, actually, this is quite different between the general application related to this kind of application, for example, Ruang Guru and etc. Because actually, the target of this kind of application for the parents itself. Because as we know, this is for the parents that has the first grade elementary school students. They don't have any basics in reading, writing, etc. So this is to be as a gap for the parents how to teach, because they're very stressed in this pandemic COVID-19 because they got double burdens. They need to fulfill their desires. They need to fulfill the desires of the family, and at the same time, they also need to you need to accompany the children in teaching and etc. In learning and etc. Right. So this is this is the advantage, or this is the point that I'm going to point out, and this is my application difference compared to the other application. And yeah, the weakness of this is maybe I'm not going the weakness is I'm not going to say that all of people already have smartphone and stuff and so on, right? But I think this is the weakness that I need to make people aware with this and make the people can operate this kind of the thing. So this is the obstacle or the weakness of this application. And hopefully, I very hope, because we rarely see from the perspective of the parents itself. We just focus in the students itself. So I hopefully this kind of application can be very useful for the parents over there that need to teach their children even if in the COVID-19. So that's all, sir.
Yeah, I think it's a similar platform also have the parental guidance also for the application, how to teach the student, how to teach their children about about the application, about the study and everything. But one thing that if you want to start first, I think you start in Riau, right? What you want to do. So I think you have, I don't know if this curriculum in Riau is the same with the curriculum in other region in Indonesia, but I think if different, so you need to first thing that you have to do your platform or your application, you need to take a similar curriculum in Riau. So people in Riau will be understand, people in Riau will be use that, and that will be I think this good start for a platform, I think. Okay. Even if you thinking about national or even thinking about to compare with Ruang Guru, I think you will be grow and then you dead.
Yeah.
If you compare with them.
Dr. Mastria.
Thank you. It's me.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. I think now it's my turn. Hello, Sarizan.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. It was a good presentation, very clear. But then you want to create an app, do the parents need to subscribe to use all the application?
Well, so based on my paper, there's already guide and guide application, so the parents can simply read the guide of the application itself. So the parents, yeah, don't need to subscribe and don't need to spend their own money, because this is based on the movement. So this is just how we can make the education better and don't need to subscribe at all.
Okay. So can we use this app after the pandemic situation?
Yes, exactly, ma'am. We still can use this kind of application after pandemic. We can add more menus or more tools in this application. For example, yeah, even if the pandemic COVID-19 already and hopefully, I mean, and then yeah, we still can use this because the children still can get the homework, for example, assignment, etc. So they still can use this application by application in order to finish the the homework and assignment of the children itself, and then the independent learning between the children and also the parents itself at home.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Sarizan. Okay, we'll meet here. Anyway, this is focused on the first year of primary school. So, meaning that all related subjects cover in this high text, right? In the application.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
I would like to get information from you, the scope of learning for the young learners. There will be building characters, there will be aspect of knowledge, there will be skill. So in which domain where the students will have more emphasis in this level? Can
Okay,
you
exactly.
illustrate?
That is
Yeah.
the character, cultivating a good characters here. The character building, because this is the first grade elementary school students. We need to focus implementing a good character to them. That's why in this application there will be an activity that is very meaningful. For example, there will be a storyteller then, for example, and then they can hear the story, and then they can get more value in order to strengthen their own character. So that's the very important that I want to emphasize here. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, Assalamualaikum, Sharizan.
Waalaikumsalam, ma'am.
Yes. My question is, what is the role of the teacher beside what you mentioned about the teacher is like I forgot what you mentioned about the role of the teacher in your presentation.
Observer.
Observer, yeah. But
Yes.
I'm thinking about the connecting between the teacher and the parents. What do you think about this? The teacher and the parents, but in the same when they have the same student, the teacher and the parents. Yeah. What do you
Okay,
think
ma'am.
about it?
So how about the connectivity between the parents and the teacher itself? So basically, in this paper, in this kind of application that I met, is so the process is just like this, ma'am. So we're creating an application. So for the first time, we're going to coordinating with the teacher itself, and there will be socialization between the teacher and with the parents itself. So if they already comprehend to use this kind of application, exactly they can do communicate together, and there will be the time, for example, because we are in the social distancing now, so maybe it's about what they need to meet one time in a month in order to discuss about the progress and the performance of the students itself. So they can do that, or just simply by saying or by typing through the WA itself. So yeah, just like that, the connectivity, and then the teacher should also give give support to the parents itself and say what are the things that very important here, why they should why should they teach their children and etc. So this is like observer and need to support the parents itself, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for the clear explanation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello. Yes. Assalamualaikum, Sarizan.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Nice smile. Okay, Sarizan. I read your proposal. The first question is, you ever made it? Did you build
What's
already?
everything?
Did you build already the application? No, not yet.
No, not
No,
yet, sir.
just
There is
just
an idea.
proposal. Just a paper. It just
Yeah.
your idea.
Yeah, just idea.
Just starting by idea. And
Yes, exactly.
I don't know, because your application is already a tons in Play Store. You can play it with a toddler until how many grades? I think check it out. And the first grades, yes, I know the first grade is really hard condition because I've been teach first grade and make me frustrated. Seriously, yes. And but I don't see the uniqueness of your application. No, it's same with the others. So tell me, what the unique selling of your application compared to the others? Of course, you have the comparison, right? Before you try to make it, you have to compare with the others. Now, please.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So basically, what my application different between the other application is simply, first of all, about the target itself. Most of the application in this Play Store, on the App Store, is targeting towards to the students itself, which is the students in the higher level, not in the first grade elementary school students. And then for the features in the application, there's also different because it's more like, this is very friendly towards to the first grade elementary school students because they can singing and then they can imitating voices and then they can play roles and etc. And yeah, I think there's no any teaching step in certain application, or for example, the objectives of the teaching or of the materials in certain application. That's why I think it's make my application different. That's all, sir.
Have you ever checked yet the other application?
Yeah, I have.
Honestly?
I have checked before, sir. For example, Ruang Guru.
How many?
And yeah.
How many
But
application you have checked?
Only for Ruang Guru, sir.
Oh, come on. There's tons, a lots of application. It's like you, right? In the app stores, you have to check first before you try to make it. You have to check first who's your comparison is, because early information you get a good result. Now you just try to, because of the point of view, you have to try to compare it. I try to compare it before talking. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sarizan.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, ma'am.
Yeah. How you feeling today?
I'm good, and then kind of nervous and tired, very very tired actually.
Okay, we have the same thing. Next,
Yes, ma'am.
this is interesting point, right? You have go teach for teaching at home for parents, right?
Yes, exactly, ma'am.
It's happened now recently when we have the children in the elementary school. The parents were not at home. You see, not at home, and they also have no gadget. So how do you think this is a problem, right? What you have the idea to get the solving problem?
Okay, so I believe that some of the parents still have no gadget at all, but some of parents already have the gadget itself. So I think it is better for us to focus with the parents that have the gadget itself instead of with the one that don't have the gadget. But we are still trying to trying to pursue the children that don't have any gadget to borrow the gadget from the other members of the family, because I think that every people already have the gadget, at least in one family have the gadget itself. For example, maybe the children of the parents itself. So maybe the parents can use the gadgets of their children, for example, in the higher level. I mean, the children that are already in, for example, in the senior high school and etc.
Okay, thank you then. What's the main program? Is it teaching the parents to teach the children? Is that?
Yes, ma'am, but more like, it's an application, so there's already clear teaching step and etc. It's like guidance for the parents how to teach their children during pandemic situation, during independent learning at home.
That's a guidance, right? That's a guidance.
Yes,
So you have
guidance.
the guidance way there, the guidance
Yes, ma'am.
rules there, right? Good. And how do you think about the successful of these applications goes through? I mean, during the time or
Okay, so yeah, for the successfulness of this kind of application, exactly need to be collaborating with many stakeholders in education. For example, there's supporter from the government, from the parents, from the educations, and if all these kind of stakeholders work together in order to support this application, exactly this is can it will be, I mean, it cannot take or consume much time in order to be success. That's all, ma'am.
okay? Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's the last one.
Well, thank you so much for Sarizan and all the judges. Yeah, we come to the last presentation. Please welcome Sony Ananta.
Okay, but first I want to ask to the committee, is it my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay. So I will start it and I will count down it from 3, 2, and 1. In early 2020, the facts of COVID-19 has arrived in Indonesia, but community outside that have not been vaccinated yet. They are because of the results. So, good afternoon, the honorable judges, distinguished guests, and all audiences. I am Sony Ananta, the student of chemistry department. Today I would like to bring my idea about innovation, biodegradable ketosan, microneedles as the alternative of hypodermic needles for COVID-19 vaccination. So, what is the problem? Based on my opinion, but this is according to the real COVID care will speak for the microbiome. What is the negative effect? Or the others medical treatment that use the hypodermic needles. And is it a serious problem? Yes, of course. If everyone were not getting vaccinated as soon as possible, we cannot end this pandemic as soon as possible too. So this will become a more serious problem to the Sustainable Development Goals. Point number 3, is about good health and well-being. Okay. And this is the illustration of the microneedle. As you can see on the right part of my slide, or you can see this the red dot that showing you the microneedle illustration here. And also this is the hypodermic needle. So this is the illustration, as you can see on the left part of my slide. And also here we have the table that compare between the microneedle and also the hypodermic needle. So here from the description, we can see that microneedle is a micron-sized needles that are aligned on the surface of a small part. And also the main difference between the microneedles and hypodermic needles is the painless. So microneedle can provide the painless injection, while the hypodermic needle cannot provide that. And also for some people, by only see the needle of hypodermic needle, which is have the sharp tip, they feel intimidated by the sharp shape of the hypodermic needle. And also, this mechanism of drug delivery is bypass the stratum corneum and drug will be placed directly into epidermis or dermis, resulting in enhanced permeability. So in this case, the vaccine or the drugs in the microneedle will be utilized their permeability properties. So this is the analysis, the advantage of microneedle. So as you can see here, this is the hypodermic needle. It has a long needle that will be injected into our skin, and it reaches our pain receptors. That's why when we inject it by the hypodermic needle, we will feel the painful taste. And as you can guess, maybe this is the microneedle patch is not reached or does not reach the pain receptors here. So that's why microneedle can provide a painless injection. And also, it only reaches the epidermis part of our skin or the dermis part of our skin and enhance their permeability and utilize the permeability properties of our vaccine or drugs. And also, how to make the microneedle that become our solution of this problem. So in this case, we will use the waste stream cell as our base material of our microneedles. Why we are using the waste stream cells? So basically, according to Badan Pusat Statistik Provinsi Riau, in 2018, there are 899.66 ton production of shrimp. Wow, that's a lot of shrimp production in Riau province. And also, it will be lead to a massive waste shrimp cell that will be coming from the seafood restaurant. And the waste stream cells still contain mineral, protein, acetyl group, and also chitin. So this chitin, we will be make them as our base material to make a microneedle. So the other or these three group compound don't needed in this experiment or this research will be removed out by using a chemical reagent, which is the mineralization by using hydrochloride acid, because mineral will be soluble in acid solution. So we can remove all the mineral from our powder and also the proteination using combined enzyme, which is a protease enzyme. So we can cleavage the protein into a smaller group, which is amino acid, and then can remove them out from our powder of shrimp cell. And also the acetylation. We will deacetylate the chitin by using sodium hydroxide reagent and make them to become chitosan. So finally, we have found a chitosan in our powder. And after that, we will do fabrication of our microneedle by mixing this chitosan into acetic acid reagent to make a colloidal gel suspension. So we will pour them into a silicon mold. So this technique called as a lithography technique, and wait until several minutes until it's hardened. So we will be remove the microneedle from the silicon mold. And finally, we have found the microneedle. And also why we are choosing the chitosan as our base material for our microneedles. So the reason is the natural antibacterial activity and has a less adhesive interaction between the skin and microneedles. So this is the chemical structure of ketoside. And also what it will be impacted to our life. So I have summary here. Yeah, it will be impacted to the society here and also the government. What it will be impacted the society. So for the society, they will not care anymore to be injected by the microneedle to get vaccinated COVID-19. So they not worry about painful taste, because microneedle can prove you a painless injection. And also it will be impacted to the government, because the government want everyone, every single citizenship, mainly in Pekanbaru, get vaccinated all. So if we can if we can injected by the vaccine of COVID-19 as soon as possible, we can end this pandemic as soon as possible too, and we can come back to the normal one, and we can do our activity like a normal, and government can make our economy back to this track again. And also, this is the visualization of my ideas. So this is the current situation that I have mentioned or described it before, and it gives me the target to the society in Riau province who still scared with injection with the help of the needle. And this microneedle or this idea will be fixed in 6 months, and there are a lot of obstacles here. So the first one is it is hard or difficult to obtain the literal transfer of our microneedle. Also, microneedle the lack of function of the function into applying. And without withdrawing the blood for the blood does not format that using microneedle. So all that one is microneedle, but the microneedle as our default series is also really assistance to make like harmonic its communication and also human resources to do this action in idea. And also this is the conclusion. Microneedle can find things injection solution or conventional or and are trying to support the so I think that's enough for me. And thank you for your attention. And I will be back this
Well, thank you so much to Sonia Ananta. To Dr. Masteria, time is yours.
Thank you, Sonny. Yeah, nice, nice idea. I think you still don't have the prototype of the microneedle, right? So it's only your idea, right?
Yes, of course, it's still my idea that I put on my paper.
Okay, good. I'm not confident with the microneedles for the to change the conventional needles because used for the vaccine, right? So one of the requirement for the vaccines needle for the vaccine, according to CDC, the needle should inject in intramuscular or subcutaneous roots of our body. So microneedle in the surface. So I'm not sure that it will be injected to our intramuscular. So the vaccine will be not effective if we change to the microneedle because in the surface, right? The microneedles. Hello? Sonny, you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Pardon me, can you repeat it again? Because my connection was unstable before. I only hear until you said that the CDC must take a solution to get
intramuscular. So that's so in microneedle only in the surface, right? In the surface of our skin.
Our skin, yes.
Yes. So that's not inject intramuscular, I think. And one requirement for the needle for the vaccine, the length of the needle should be 1 inch. So I think in your microneedle, not 1 inch, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes. The second thing is you use the ketosan for the microneedle. So you need to check also negative impact or side effects if we put the microneedle with the ketosan in the vaccines. So it will be not because it could be have the side effect also because you use the ketosans, not the normal needle, right? So because in normal needle you use the syringe, something like that. So there is no something attached there. But if you use the vaccine, maybe so ketosan will be diluted with the vaccine and will be I think will be have the negative or side effects. So you need to know about that first before you make your microneedles. So in my opinions, it will be not acceptable maybe because the microneedles not based on CDC regulations. So you need to change also the criteria your microneedles or how your your microneedle. That's all for me. Thank you and good luck.
Okay, maybe I will respond it first because I have read it in many literature, and from one literature that I have been read before, this microneedle has been used in many research outside there, but in still the developing phase. That is microneedle.
Sorry, Sony Ananta, time is up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, time is very tight here. Sonny, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear your
Okay.
voice.
Sorry, Dr. Mastria. So now it's my turn to ask question. Only one question. So you're going to use ketosan, yeah? Ketosan from the streams. As far as I know, ketosan is like you need to extract it and to produce it. It takes time. Also, you mentioned it in your paper that gonna be like more than 6 months. So is this material gonna be valuable for the microneedles since it's very difficult to get? So what do you think about that?
In my opinion or in my point of view, it's not really difficult to make this, but it takes time. It takes time to make the microneedles. But I mean, in Indonesian, it's maybe like start with if we hear about microneedle. But in Japan, they have to use this as their default syringes, such as for the vaccination of COVID-19, they use these microneedles and not use the hypodermic needle anymore in Japan. That's what I know from the news that I read from Japan. And also, here we are using the ketosan as our base materials. We know that ketosan is one of biopolymer that has a stable complex. So in my opinion, it will be not diluted with our vaccine of COVID-19, such as maybe and maybe for the vaccine that has been entered in Indonesia, such as Sinovac or AstraZeneca, maybe like that one.
Sonny, yeah,
Yes.
this is a dilematics about, anticipate for COVID-19 and then the actual condition that we have to eliminate, and the government have to buy with the high budget, right, for the vaccines. Now, one thing is a good point for your proposal, but I have also something in doubt in my mind. Is it reliable to be used? Right, because microneedle, microneedles usually is commonly used for facial treatment, to make face become beautiful. So it's all only at the surface of the skin. Okay. Is there any alternative ideas that you think in line with your proposal here?
Okay, maybe I will try to answer it. Such like I have been answered before, this micro needle has been used not only in Indonesia, maybe in Turkey, in Carnegie Mellon University in USA, they have been developed this to develop syringes to vaccine of COVID-19. So you can use these micro needles for the vaccination of COVID-19 because it will utilize the vaccine properties or the drug properties such as their permeability. Because we design the drugs, we must see about the permeability and our metabolism too. So yeah, in my opinion, it's just like that. Yeah, we can still have a good vaccination by using the microneedle, or we can succeed vaccination from the microneedle because the vaccine have the permeability properties. So yeah, when you injected by these microneedles, yeah, the vaccine will be permeable to our intramuscular system.
Here, while the COVID's already spread out in the high percentage that kill people and then make people sick as well, and then also not only for the health problem but also economical problem. What I mean here, this proposal still take a long time if you want to apply. So while the COVID-19 has to solve, in high speed, in quick times, in relative time, but your proposal here, the ideas takes longer to be able to be reliable to be used. This is another thing. I think that's all from me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Hello, Sony.
Yeah, hello, ma'am.
Yes. Have you ever tried to make these microneedles?
Oh, I have not made it before because actually I found this in international paper that use this microneedle as their default syringes to for the COVID-19 vaccination. So when I saw that, it sounded really interesting because many people that still scared or have a needle phobia. So like I have said before, they try to avoid medical treatment that use a needle.
Yeah, but in Indonesia? How about in Indonesia?
I mean, it's very good because there are a lot of people still scared to the needles, and also it not comes from us a student or maybe a lecturer. It also comes from the hard worker. As you can see from my first video, there are some hard workers that getting vaccinated and they cry a lot and they scream a lot because they scared to the needle. I mean,
yeah,
yes, ma'am.
I mean, in Indonesia, the microneedles itself, it not produced yet. It's still not produced yet.
Yes, of course. And from what I know, only Japan that has used this microneedle as their default syringes for a medical treatment, besides the beauty treatment that has been mentioned by the previous judges.
All right, thank you.
Thank you too, ma'am.
Hello, Sonny. How are you today?
Sir.
Oh, this is quite good product, but you never made it. You just read from the papers, the others' papers. So it's good. I mean, encourage you to try to build it. I think it's really hard now and needs more time to more research because, Chitosan, I know there's a kind of lot of product using the Chitosan. I've been 5 years for the viewers, almost 250 something about 2000. But microneedles is something new. Yeah. But as long as I know, microneedles is not ready yet if you're using in Indonesia. So if you try to make it microneedles, how long you will take it to produce the microneedles?
To be honest, I write it in my paper. It takes maybe plus minus 6 months, but I'm confident it will be takes 1 year. Yeah, 1 year to produce the microneedle. Produce the microneedle, test it. Is it really about to use it? Yeah, maybe it will take 1 year.
Are you sure a year?
Yes, I'm sure.
How much budget do you need?
From the budget that I need is costly in how to prepare the chitosan. Yeah, the budget spent a lot to extract the chitosan from the waste stream cell because
How much?
we use a lot of reagents. From my paper, it's about 13,000 billion.
13 million.
Million. Sorry.
30 million. And
13 million.
And you sure you can make it in a year?
Yes, I'm sure because I have mentioned before, I need an assistance too for the instrumentation and also human resources that coming from the Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences and also from the Technique faculty.
Do you have human resources to that? Do you have any expert to help you out?
Do you mention about the thing?
Experts, people do good in that.
Until now, I don't have an expert
Don't have it.
on this paper.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for answer. Keep good work.
Thank you. Sony?
Yeah, hello, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Are you okay this afternoon? I
I'm
saw
very
your
okay.
picture is different, right? Looks like there's something happened there. It's written text also in your head. That's funny. You are the last presenter. You see that? We are happy now. Would like to see the result.
A little bit happy and also nervous because I'm the last presenter and all the presenters.
Yeah.
They are very good.
Thank you. I just like to know. There must be negative effect for any things that you do here, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Please help me, show me the negative effect of doing microneedles.
So until right now, maybe the negative effect using this microneedle based on the hypoxia is first that has been mentioned before by Sir Miss Masteria from Libby. Said maybe it will be diluted with pitosan, but in the first one, maybe the negative effect, and the second effect is maybe it can be an allergic reaction from our body because it's using pitosan, an organic compound that will be respond our immune body when it will be injected to our body. Maybe that's the negative effect while we using this microneedles.
Okay. It means that you know the negative effect, right? And in this research, you never do. I mean, you never see the things, the real things. Not yet.
Not yet, because in Indonesia, the microneedle is really somewhere in Indonesia. Maybe for some women that have been go to the beauty clinic about the microneedles.
Okay. After this, what is the first step that you would like to do after today? Related
After
to
today,
this.
maybe. Yeah, I will get the wet stream cell and prepare the chitosan, extract the chitosan from the waste wing cell because that's the basic or the best material of these microneedles. So we need to extract the chitosan first.
Okay, good. And you don't forget to have your partner, the best partner, and then knowledge about this chitosan. You see that?
Yeah, I need of help to doing this research, almost from the expert to make this idea become a real. Yeah, we need an expert in the health center maybe, and also from the technique because when you prepare the microneedle structure, the surface, that one, and also the needles, we need an expert from the technique to realize this idea.
Okay, you have to go ahead with this research and please do the implementation. And don't forget, Indonesia will be proud of you if it is okay and release as iconic of Riau from you, especially from the campus, right? Okay.
Yes, of course.
Do your best, yeah? Thank you for today.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Sonia Ananta and all the judges. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the last presentation of Outstanding Students Election today. We are going to announce the winners of this competition tonight at 8. I would like to say thank you to judges, committees, and contributors for this, and for all the finalists, good luck for your competition. I'm really sorry if I made mistakes in leading this program. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baik, kepada Baik, terima kasih kepada Saudara Andri Kurniawan yang telah memandu jalannya acara kita pada hari ini. Itulah tadi presentasi dari finalis utama Mahasiswa Berprestasi Universitas Riau tahun 2021. Selanjutnya, dipersilahkan untuk Dewan Juri melakukan diskusi dalam penentuan para pemenang Mahasiswa Berprestasi Universitas Riau tahun 2021. Diingatkan kepada seluruh peserta bahwa kita akan melaksanakan acara penutupan tepatnya nanti malam pukul 20.00 waktu Indonesia Barat. Harap semua finalis dapat join di link Zoom yang telah diberikan dan dapat mengajak supporternya untuk menyaksikan live acara di YouTube Kemahasiswaan Universitas Riau. Jangan lupa juga untuk subscribe dan juga like channel YouTube tersebut. Sekian dari saya sebagai Master of Ceremony. Mohon maaf jika ada salah kata. Sekian, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.